Good afternoon. Thank you, Clem Labine, for your kind introduction. And thank you to the Utah chapter of the Institute for Classical Architecture and Art for inviting me to be a part of this conference. It's truly an honor to be included in the roster of speakers. And thank you to Robert Baird for this invitation. My first monograph, entitled Classical Invention, showcase 15 recently realized architectural projects. An important component of this book is the inclusion in each chapter of an analytique, specific in its form, that represents the intensive compositional intricacies of working through the concept of a design. These drawings, as with much of our development of projects, are hand-drafted because we continue to feel the old world deliberateness of this process honors the process of refining the shapes and forms of architecture. It's not surprising that we as architects work in a visual realm. So to put together this monograph and even this talk this afternoon has challenged me to think about my process, or our process, in fresh ways. Vacation for me this summer included donning a hard hat, putting on rubber web climbing shoes, securing a safety harness with metal clips, and climbing Via Ferrata, some of America's most exquisite land art, southern Utah's iron oxide buttes and mesas. I was up close and personal with geological phenomena that took my breath away, with their unpredictable colors, textures, spontaneity of shadow play, sense of place, as I made second-by-second decisions on where to place my hand or my hiking boot, or how to grasp the climbing ladder, or how far to extend my arm or my leg to find firm foundation that would bear my body weight. I realized that the focus, the clarity of purpose, the intricacies of decision-making that is required to successfully ascend the boulder face is similar to the architectural design process. Climbing a mountain or scaling an exposed mesa, I feel, is an apt metaphor for the euphoria that can come from soundly designing a space for living, chilling, relaxing, savoring the sweetest moments of life with friends and family. Even those moments of solitude, gazing at a canopy of stars or an invigorating skyline, or the majesty of an oak tree. So what do I do? How do I effect the creation of someone's living space? From the two words gracing the cover of my book, Classical Invention, you can guess that my structural foundation for creativity is classical, but the thrill of the design process is similar to the excitement one feels climbing a vertical solid rock, and it's what makes this inventive process so rewarding. So today I want to touch upon the concept of this process from the first creative ideas to achieving the physical form of those ideas. We, as architects, designers, artisans, and builders, are faced with the challenge of working and responding to the objectives and needs established by our clients. And that realization of those challenges is our work. And I thought it would be interesting to focus on a particular example of concept to reality in my practice. I believe that the design of a staircase represents the highest form of the profession. Staircases are often so much more than just vehicles for human movement within a living space. So tonight, I'd like to show you the details, the steps, if you will, of the creation of a staircase completed only weeks ago. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the backstory. In 2001, we completed a comprehensive renovation of a 4,000 square foot apartment in the Twin Tower building on Central Park West called the Majestic. And in this image from the 2001 renovation, you can see the alignment of doors along the eastern face of the apartment, and that creates a sort of enfilade. The entry gallery here is important to note as it would play a part in the new renovation over a decade later. So this is the 2001 plan of the apartment as it was built. So approximately 10 years later, I was introduced to the new owners of the apartment, and they laid out the objective. They had just purchased the 9th floor apartment below this residence here, and the concept was to adjoin these two apartments into one larger apartment, which is a problem that we frequently are faced with in New York City, as there's a scarcity of larger apartments. So here is the design presentation for the combining of the two apartments, and you can see the stair in that sort of central zone opposite the entry from the elevator vestibule. And this is the design presentation. It's an analytic drawing, and it shows the placement of the stair on the 10th floor. As you enter the apartment, you see an alcove, and the stair is situated in this alcove, and it descends to the 9th floor. In considering the staircase, we went through various concepts for what the balustrade would look like. We knew we needed a balustrade, so we discussed options with the client, looking at previous stairs that we had designed, and that's when we began to discuss the concept of the Greek key as being a component in the design of this balustrade. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the Greek key. As you know, it's also called the meandros, or the Hellenic key, and it's thought to have its origins in ancient Greece, with its association with the Meandros River as a sort of a symbol of the eternal flow of life. It's a pattern that repeats a continuous geometric shape using right angles. It is crisply graphic, yet it is unobtrusively, it works unobtrusively well in modern settings, and yet gives a quiet reference back to ancient Greece. It is transcendent while evoking the ancient, a classical connection, yet open to fresh interpretation. So we looked at historic examples of the Greek key as inspiration in the design of the balustrade. And these were some examples from 19th century French buildings we were looking at, and this is the actual design that we came up with. And you can see the section in the upper area is the opening to the stair alcove, and here the Greek key is situated just below the handrail as well at the base of the balustrade. The reflected ceiling plan above is the lay light that we designed to center over that stairwell. These are the detailed drawings for that balustrade, and you can see the Greek key form. We had fluted pickets that would come up in center, specifically under the form of the Greek key, with these little elliptical connectors that would hold that form in place. This is a three-dimensional rendering that we showed to the client to depict in the architectural space what this balustrade design was actually going to look like. And you can see the lay light up above. So once our builder was selected, the process of leading the concept to reality began. And the the first step was opening the floor between the 10th and the 9th floor, and this confirmed that the stair would actually work, that there were no surprises. And we were very delighted to, that's something we say in the business a lot. We were delighted that Robert Baird and Steve Brown were selected as the subcontractors to fabricate the balustrade. We knew from experience that they had the skill and the knowledge set to execute our design truly to perfection. And these are the images from their shop drawings for the balustrade. But first, the wood stair needed to be fabricated, and this was done by NE and SW Woodworking in Macbeth, New York. And here you can see the stair coming together. And Historic Arts and Castings came to Long Island with their equipment and their materials, and they made this all-important element. It's called the template bar. And the template bar sets everything, and it has to be perfectly fitted to the inside string of the stair. So the blue tape there is demarcating that template bar. Here we're in West Jordan, Utah, which is just east of where we are now, at the shop of Historic Arts and Castings. And a precise scaffold has been erected to hold that template bar in space. And the intermediate bar is beginning to take shape. And here there was this amazing refinement of the upper intermediate bar to improve the shape of the balustrade. We had this small window of adjustment between the height, the code, limits on the height of the rail above the nosing of the tread. And within those limits, since each tread was demarcated in the scaffold, we were able to make these adjustments. So now we have the desired shape. Well, you can see that there. And this is one of the artisans using a bending machine on one of the template bars. Now the twin bars that will cradle this Greek key are now in place, and the bottom template bar has been replaced with a new nickel silver bar that's only 1/4 of an inch thick. You can see the blocking in between those two bars that holds that precise space that the casting will be situated. But how is this Greek key to be cast in nickel silver? How can this complex descending shape be cast to be determined precisely to fit within those bars? So here's how. Bending boards are attached to the stair scaffold with a sheet of vellum behind the boards, and the lines are traced onto the vellum, demarcating the shape of the intermediate and top bar. Here, a single sheet of vellum then is put over that drawing, and a single all-important line is traced onto the vellum. This is then scanned into the AutoCAD drawings, and the shop drawings are now adjusted to that precise line. So here's where the perfection comes to play. That data from the AutoCAD drawing is used to cut with a CNC machine in this thick resin panels, a negative form of the Greek key. And from that negative form, rubber molds are made. There are two, each 5/16 of an inch thick, or half the thickness of the Greek key. And these rubber molds are set into a rigid plastic sheet and fit within the bars of the balustrade. And once this is set, sand molds are made of the rubber molds so that the Greek key can be cast in approximately 3-foot-long sections. Incredibly, significant shrinkage needs to be accounted for in the nickel silver. It has a shrinkage rate of about an eighth of an inch per foot. This is the actual pouring of the nickel silver into the molds. And here the Greek key has now been removed from the molds, and it's been situated into between the intermediate and top bar, and these tack welds have been set to the custom elliptical connectors to hold them firmly into place while the machined connectors are made to the balustrade. Here the balustrades are cut with the designed fluting, and the bases and caps are turned on a lathe. Now this balustrade then is taken a couple blocks away from Historic Arts and Castings is the shop of the Paul Newman, no relation to the actor, mill shop. And they fabricated the wood handrail. And here the solid American black walnut wood cap is fitted to the balustrade using both carving techniques on the tight curves and a bending technique on the gentle curves. And here you can see the bending technique in action. There are about 8 slivers of the wood that relax its form as it's bent into shape. And here's the finishing process of the balustrade. The tack welds that are being removed. The inside surfaces of the Greek key are being sandblasted while the outer faces are polished. Here you can see the fasteners that each picket will be set to, as well as the fastener for the newel at the base of the stair. But first, the stair had to be erected on the site. So here you can see the stair being actually installed on the site. And here the stair is ready to receive the balustrade, and the plywood is temporarily protecting the stairs while the construction continued. Back in Utah, here, the stair balustrade is re-erected on that scaffold. And when we got these photographs, it was just a thrilling thing to see. We were really truly excited. So in December, the metal stair was shipped to New York City and installed on the wooden staircase. So here you can see this installation in process. It came in 3 sections. Now this is sort of like a world premiere because these photographs were taken only 2 weeks ago, and this is the completed product. And you can see that lay light over the stair, and there's some details showing the workmanship. This is looking back towards that main entry gallery, and you can see up into the lay light. And then if you look close, you can see the sandblasting of the interior face, the polished outer face, the elliptical connectors, the fluted pickets. This is on the 9th floor. And I love the way this sort of terminates that last elliptical connector as the Greek key closes in on the balustrade. For centuries, stairs have been the solutions to a problem. They have symbolized the movement from a public space to one of more privacy. The move from this world to another world, to the world of the unknown, the world of possibilities. A child's first step, step by step, one step at a time, moving upward in life, daring to step away from the earth's pull. Stairs are practical in their appeal, as we have explored this afternoon. They are also, in and of themselves, causes for creative synergy. The tiniest of details that go into their end product permit architects with numerous opportunities to express the tone and the tenor of how their clients wish their space to feel. Striking, refined, dramatic. This summer, when I flew off to Utah for a break from my work routine, I had not premeditated Via Ferrata climbing. But it turned out to be the physical immersion in the process of moving from concept, man on the ground wants to see view on cliff, or what my clients might stipulate, we have two apartments we wish to connect, or to reality. One foothold at a time, one consideration of space versus design appeal, versus parameters of building volume or codes at a time, be it a man conquering a cliff face or the team effort of architects and artisans working with clients. Invention, fulfillment of dreams involves reasoned, deliberate moves and the spark of courage and creativity to move from concept to the euphoria of reality. Stairs represent the foundation of our architectural practice, both utility and beauty in one. They are the quintessential archetypes for classical invention. Thank you.